Go. Okay, recording is doing its thing again. And then we get Ibis Paint open. I don't know actually if I have my drawing pad. Okay, I have my drawing pad. I have to go grab my drawing pen for it. Ignore that we were doing AI testing for something. Not like testing AI, like testing if something was AI. Okay. Yeah, welcome to the Library of Art. Here's a Nix. Y'all like Nix. I'll put Nix on the screen while I go grab my pencil for art. So I will be back in a minute or two. Hello chat. Has it been 2 minutes? I did run up the stairs again, which was not a good idea. Which fun. Oh my god, of course Violet's here when I admit to running up the stairs. No why? No one person I don't want here when I run up the stairs, of course. Hello Heidi, welcome. What why? Why do you do this to me? You running up the stairs suddenly, yeah. I guess I'll start doing it more. Why? What's wrong? I get out of breath very easily. I had corona during corona time. So anytime I run up the stairs is I will get short of breath. Which isn't exactly good for you. So my moderators tried to stop me from it. Doesn't really work. Oh man, yeah. It's fun. But I'm working on it. Because I do legit mean running up the stairs. Walking goes just fine. It's specifically walking up the stairs that's a horrible idea for me. Stream manager. Let me just recalibrate my VTuber and then. Oh, Ibis Paint is not showing. God, I did not realize Ibis Paint wasn't here. Whoopsie. Okay. That should work now. Anyway, what did I miss? I collabed with Nyx out of nowhere. Why is it not showing? Specific window. Ibis Paint, okay. It's not working, I don't know why. Maybe if I use Windows Capture. Throw that on Ibis Paint. Oh, there we go, that works. That's really cool, congrats. Yeah, we just kind of opened her stream because I had to go to Twitch to notify Blue Sky that it was live. I saw Nyx was live, and then I just kind of decided I'm gonna bother her. So we did a little Infinity Nikki collab. And then I got raided by Nyx, which was a huge shock, and we did not know at all she would be raiding me. That was the biggest surprise I've ever had, you know? Okay, let me recalibrate my VTuber real quick because then the tracking actually works when I do art, because otherwise I'm gonna be so small. Okay. Boop up. There we go. That fixes some issues. That makes my tracking a whole lot better. Uh-huh. Yeah, sure. Yeah. I did not know at all she would rate me. Who what do you mean? That was yeah. Was very unexpected. I was very unprepared for being raided, you know. Right. Discord, please open. So I might be a little weird with talking sometimes. The sick is making my nose really stuffy. So sometimes that happens. That's fine. I did get asked by a friend to draw something, which is 13 from Obey Me. Very unexpected. Yeah, exactly. There you go. So I got asked by a friend to draw someone from a game called Obey Me. Specifically the character called 13. And I got a little reference post for it as well. So, Obey Me is an Otome game. You can check it out if you want. But, where's my wife? She's great. I love her. Do I have a reference sheet though? She has a really nice reader. Which program do you use? Ibis Paint. It's Ibis Paint, specifically paid PC version. It's a one-time €30 payment, but then you don't have to watch advertisements anymore. Save that. And you get unlimited art time. It's really chill. And it's one of the few art programs, to my understanding, where you can use the bucket tool on a separate layer, which is really nice. And this is the last piece I made. This one wasn't on stream. We made Miku, I made on stream, but that one's really big. That's half a gigabyte of art. So I'll show this one. This is a little angsty. We have a fluffy one right here. My last two actual pieces were me. We have Remus from Sandersides, if anyone knows that. We have Kavix. We have, what else we got? We got Nyx. Please zoom out. Then we have a bunch of Infinity Nikki stuff. Nyx again, me. A lot of doodles. I use Clip Studio Paint, which feels like piloting a plane without any previous understanding, but it's very comfortable. Yeah, I've checked out Clip Studio. It's just not for me. Why is Nyx being choked like that? Because you're holding her. That's the starlings, the little bird that represents her chat. Is like squeezing her, like the stress toy in the owl house, kind of like that one. Okay. And as for drawing, I use a drawing pad, so my PC is my art screen, and then I have a drawing pad below it. It's chill. I have 8 buttons. I only use 3 or 4. Technically 3, but I have an alt tab button, so that's a bit much, don't you think? Like the buttons, or what's a bit much? Like too many buttons? The whole 8 buttons? I guess it's a bit much buttons, considering I only use 3 of them to do art. No, the next art. Buddy, you haven't seen shit yet. Here's the sketch for that one. So that's Nyx. Don't actually have all my. These are my school notes, by the way. I take notes on here. Okay, so nothing here. What else we got? Don't worry about that text. If you could read that, don't worry about it. Oh, that's a Kavix. That's not Nyx. That's a Kavix. That's a Miku. So Miku and Kavix in here. You have one Nyx big on here. Then you have the sketches of Nyx and me stealing Nyx's clothes. What else we got? Nothing in here. Don't worry, I can't read Dutch. I mean, you can read the notes. The text I got worried about is the red text I showed earlier. You're saying a stress toy in the hours if it didn't appear only once in a flashback and parents within a few minutes. Yeah, but there's a reference to that, you know? That's more notes, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I hate rendering Nyx's hair, to be honest. I don't render hair the same way her model is, luckily. That helps a lot when you actually have like an art style that isn't anime. These are two doodles of my Minecraft skin. Which is the Phantom. For some reason, people started calling the Phantom of the Lorax, or the Phantom of the Onceler, because it has like a mask and like a suit, and it's green. You know what? I made less Nyx doodles in class than I remember. Oh wait, here we go. Oh no, that's Minecraft and eyes. Okay. I draw too many eyes, honestly. Oh, that's another eye. That one's weird. Okay. What we got here? Little me. Little me. Remember the maid outfit one? Has restart on the hair 5 times just because it didn't look good. I know, but just render it differently from her own model. Just don't. Fuck. Okay, this is from Pepper Jam time still. I threw up. Whoops. Just don't render it the same way her actual hair is rendered because that helps a lot. So yeah, that's a Nyx in there. This one I'm still working on. I'm not quite happy with the composition, but these are all my little VTubing friends and the gremlin I found on the side of the road. So yeah, that's something I'm working on. How much does it help? How do you mean how much does it help? Like Nyx's hair? Like rendering it differently or how much does what help? I mean, let me this is full on different from her hair, but this is still color picked. I have to find another Nyx piece. I make her too much. This one's stained glass, so that's not gonna help. That one's not rendered. Um, this is technically Nyx. That's full on difference. Do I have a Nyx somewhere? This one also different. I have a lot of ways to render her. Alright, here we go. Sunba Nyx. You can see that actually this one's better. You can see that is not the way she renders. She has her hair rendered. Like that's fully different. And it would help because then like if you're not copying something, you can just do whatever the fuck you want. But you can kind of see it here as well. Specifically sheep hair I render differently. But you can see how I rendered it kind of. That's like this is not how she has it. Same with this one, you can see how I render stuff. This is not something I can copy. I really drew her a lot, didn't I? You see, I'll open this one. Oh, it's chill, okay. You can see this one. Like the hair rendering is so different from anime usually. That's cool. Thank you. I've been really experimenting with my art style recently, so that's why you can see this piece, like the sketchy layers in there, which I've been really enjoying. I use the sketch layer in the color layer because my brush allows for that. And it gives a little bit of an edge to art, which I really like. Now with this one, I actually full on kept the sketch in there, multiplied it a bunch of times, added color. There's texture over this one as well. The hair is also like fully rendered differently. So just do the way you like to render and don't care about the end result. If you want to render the way I did here, that's fully okay. If you want to render it like this one, which you don't have context for, but this is from my webcomic I'm working on with some friends, just render it the way you would like to. I have so many ways to render my art at this point, especially the hair because I love rendering stuff. Also, we should actually get working on 13 at this point. Welcome to my reference page. It's my friends, Sender Sites, Miku, and Plant Organs, and then a bunch of Nickies and the comic stuff. It's a fun time. Boop bop bop. And that one for the pose. And that one for 13, and then we can work on the pose situation. My consciousness does not let me render differently. I should just make Nyx bald. You know what? I'm gonna change my stream title real quickly so it's not a lie. Art be arting. Change title. Okay, there we go. We're gonna do tutorial stuff today. That's not how that line should go. So I don't know how you draw a head. This is not how I usually do it for reference, but it allows me to do it real quick. That's good head. Should probably take the inner line there. Just gonna try and get a good shape out of this. You really, if you're sketching, try to make it cleaner or use the sketch in your end result because humans are weird and they like to do line stuff. I gotta go. Have a nice stream. Take care. Bye bye. Yeah, I'm gonna show you art. This is gonna be Nyx. I don't remember how her eyes work actually. This is definitely what Nyx's eyes look like. We are doing great stuff today. And then yeah, sure that's not Nyx. What brush do you use for sketching? I use the same brush for literally everything. If you join the Discord, there it should be somewhere. Oh no, wait, it's not in there. I'll send it to you after stream. Actually, I use the same brush for everything. It's really nice. I'll make her face smaller. Actually, and then my eraser changes a lot, but I tend to use the airbrush one. Merge that. And it helps that I use my sketch, as I said, in my art a lot. There we go. And then I just need. Let's not open that. Settings, reference window. Click click to next. All of the fucking references showing through. Oh, there we go. Say hello to Nyx. Nyx, how do your eyes work? What do you not have a bald reference? What the fuck? I guess she doesn't have a bald reference, but I fucked her eyes up, so. Also, never be afraid of erasing. I'm still learning to erase stuff more. Don't be afraid of it. Especially if you're a digital only artist where your back button tends to be your best friend. That's more the shape of her eye. And then she has like lashes like that. That's better. I'm just gonna copy this one. I'm not drawing that 2 times. Paste, boop, up, up. That's one eye. Yeah, whatever. I'll just erase the middle part and move it. So fucking weird anytime I do this. And there we go. Then just grab that. Move that over here. Sure, I told you about yeah, I know, but like, look, I used to also use different brushes. But if you like want to try this one out, I mean, like I know you use the fire. Where are they? You use like stuff in here. Which one was it again? What you said? Glass pen liner and then oh, you are doing liners, yeah. Flat watercolor opaque, yeah. So you're using those. This one I'm using is relatively similar to that. Just this is the one I'm used to is the issue, and I've gotten to a point where I can't do art with other stuff. Which is really annoying, but for this type of stuff, but still. So I'm just gonna show you how I do it, and then you can copy that method to your own type of art. It goes like that. I love anime hair so much, honestly. Just fucking point. That's I feel bad. I don't know how to sketch hair. Her hair specifically. I think it's more if I do this, just so I keep that shape in there, and then her hair cuts off around here. That better. I really like the way people draw this type of hair. I don't. I don't know how. Especially with like the volume and everything. Like how do people just do that so normally? Alright, there we go. That's a little better. Then you just sketch her hair. Hair, if I draw it, it's a lot more sketchy than the rest of the art. I will clean up the sketch in a second, don't worry. Should probably give her like a neck and everything. That's not a neck. I am struggling to get shapes correct today. What the fuck? So my sketches are quite messy. I do apologize for that. I still suck at rendering hair. Rendering still is my worst nightmare. I mean, I look, I'm a big fan of rendering, so that helps me. I'll try to focus on the hair for this one. Uh, And then I guess this one show like that. There we go. She has like these ones. Which go like that. I apologize to Nyx for how this is starting to look. It's really messy. And then she has two sets of hair, so we'll do both today. I don't often draw both her hairstyles in one piece, so I'm just gonna quickly. You know what? I'm just gonna do the old school way of like throw something over her usual clothes, like something vaguely reminiscent of her actual clothes. Then just throw a fucking hoodie on there. I'll grab a separate layer real quick. Get hoodied, girl. If you don't know what to do with clothing in a piece, just fucking throw a hoodie on it and it's fine. Uh, that's definitely not how you draw an arm. Sick. Okay, let me. This looks so cursed. Let me quickly clean the hoodie sketch up. There we go. And here I have to like erase this part. Try not to erase the hair. And that works. Great, amazing. And then the hoodie, I have to erase the part under the hair. Which usually I don't actually erase this much, but for the showcase, it's for the best. I'd lower her a bit actually. Also to grab that, grab all that, move that up. There we go. It's gonna help a bit. I'm erasing a small part of the hair. That's probably fine. This part actually has to be erased because that's her arm in the way there. Uh, erase that part. Erase whatever's left there. Hair layer, brush. I can't leave this without like little. I'm gonna throw her in orange hoodie. You'll get fun art. Alright, there we go. Welcome to the sketch has been done. That took a lot longer than I meant for it to. I'll see actually. Do I erase her head in here? Is the question right now. Because I do always merge my sketch layers, so I think I prefer it like this and this. And there we go. That works a little better. Just like little shadows over here. Like that. Still fucking around with the sketch as well. Don't worry. Sketching tends to take me a lot longer because I'm not a line artist person. So take your time, there's no need to rush and looking great. Thank you. This piece is literally just to like show my process a bit. But still, that eyeball should actually stay there. And I want to erase where. There we go. That will do the job. Merge, new layer, special, and then we start with flat colors. Special, right? Yeah, special fill. Which for me that helps a lot because I really like making fluffy hair. And then you can add so much shape with this. That's what I did with the Miku hair for the first time, I think. Just because you can very easily go like that. Very easily add a strand or two extra everywhere. Why is today just a Nick stream, by the way? Legit, we start by collabing with her as surprise. And then we just start drawing her. Boop. But yeah, I don't know why I picked this way of coloring stuff from Kavix. Yeah, I really enjoyed the way this works. Just fun to do. You know, eventually, look, art, you want it to look good, sure, whatever. But you do need to remember to have fun, okay? Always have fun making art. If you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. That's I do hate when people are like, yeah, no, it's about. This is why I'm anti AI. It's not about the fucking end result, guys. Unless you're like corporate, just to have fun. I don't care if you want a big girl booba or something. But the art part, it's about having fun. And if you're not having fun, like what's the point? Sure, you can like look at your little AI girlfriend art piece. Oh, this is my girlfriend. Look at her. She's so pretty. But like, you didn't make it. There's nothing there for you to really be proud of. It's like cool. It's like showing the children of your a picture of your children. No one actually cares, but they are trying to be supportive. Which like AI, don't be supportive. I'm struggling with how these trends to go. Maybe I just fuck it. We give her fluffier hair. Why not? Why the fuck not? Fuck AI exactly. I mean, don't fuck it like physically, but do fuck AI, yeah. Fun fact, actually, I have a comic, and I hate having to say this, but I do use AI in the comic because the entire comic plot is that people are going away from AI that made them without giving a shit. So they are characters generated by AI, but every part is written by hand and drawn by hand. It's just the characters are stolen back from AI. It's not really theft. You can't copyright it anyway. But yeah, there's a bit diff between those two meanings. Yeah. I mean, if you want to go have sex with the AI, go fuck its servers so you can destroy them. I guess in that way you can do that. That's about the only way you can. So yeah, I don't like having to be like, yeah, I don't like AI, but I do use it in the creative process for my comic because the whole plot is that we're like giving them actual existence and not just weird AI bro bullshit. Shapes are hard. So that's like the only thing where I struggle a bit with saying fully going fuck AI because it is like technically me and the team are using it. We are not generating stuff ourselves and grabbing it off of Pinterest. But yeah. I feel guilty anytime I talk about the comic, even though I really like making it. What fucking gold am I grabbing? No. As you can see, I can do art myself. I'm making all of it myself. I can show you comic pages if you want. They aren't lettered yet because we have a separate person doing that now. We started with like a team of 12, and then our line artist left. So I started picking up line art, which meant we had like a sketch person and an art person, and then suddenly we had nothing anymore. Also, because this is a tutorial, I'm just gonna. Hi, Nick, you're wearing my hoodie now. Probably should throw that in. Alright, where's the fucking erase tool? So yeah, if I'm at flat color stage, I'll just use the lasso eraser as well. It's very easy to use, so you can want to make this slightly better. And then back to lasso fill and just color that. Did I? Okay, yeah. The eyes will be redrawn later on, don't worry, even if they do get blended in. It's just for general stuff a little easier when I do this. That's not the color of her eye white, what the fuck. Fun fact, my VTuber doesn't actually have eye whites. I did that on purpose, but it's really funny. It'd be like, yeah, no, I don't have eye whites, don't worry about it. Side effects of the magic, you know? I'm making her blush, fuck it. Why not? Yo, chat, get fed. Nick's being a cutie, why not? For the record, this is not chip art. Realizing it's starting to look a whole lot like it, for the record, it's not. So the eyes, I'm just making like fake shapes because I have to redo them later probably. But it helps me a little with like the vision of what I'm doing. Like a shade of blue. Helps me. There we go. So welcome to the flat color. Oftentimes what I do after flat color on Sketch is throw it in a folder, duplicate. Just so you always have the option to go back to your older versions. Especially because I merge layers. A lot. So then I go to brush, and for NYX we have some colors in here. Which I'm just gonna throw them in real quick. She has like... I do take inspiration from, if I do fan art, from how they shade stuff. So there's two like this, and then it goes like that. And it's like always inward, outward, from side to side. Small bit here, bigger bit here, small bit here. It will never be the same as the actual art. That's something I don't do. But something like this, you can see the shape of it a lot. And you see, oh, switch over. She has like little points up here, which I do like this. They are technically for hair shape, but I don't do that. And then She has her hair needs an illusion of glowing. So there's a little bit back here, which I will throw in. And her hair goes a little lighter on this part. But it's still not yellow, blonde. So just stripes. Stripes is what I do. And you can see over here, it's for some reason only around her neck situation. So new layer for me, just add a little white. And I do often still put in like a stripe of yellow. That's wrong yellow. This is really bright yellow. If you want stuff to look like it's glowing, just add a little bit of the color, just really bright. And her hair does kind of the same thing as here. She doesn't have a close-up of her ponytails, but her ponytails kind of make this shape at the top with both the highlight and the shadow make a little Y at the top. And then at the bottom, it's doing the same thing it did up here. Specifically by going like this and progressively getting smaller. And slightly less of a bend to it. So like that. There we go. That's already like part of rendering of her hair done. I'll get working on the rest of the stuff as well, of course. That little, actually that one I should do with flat color. So this is on top of the line art, but for me it doesn't really change anything. Just means a little less shading on the bows, which doesn't matter much. So that, and then boop. So she does have shading colors, which helps a lot. I add a little shadow below the neck, of course. I always add a little shadow beyond, under the eyes. The nose I make a little triangle, and the bottom, oh, too far up. Under the lips, under the bottom lips, a little bit of shadow as well. And of course, with the hair, shadow under the hair. And if you want like more determined face shapes, which she has a very clean shape of face, you can do shadows anywhere where the face dents in a little. Then we grab this really dark black, little shading because the idea is that that's pointing outward. Grab this blue. Oh, that's a, don't know where I grabbed the blue for her gem, but we're just gonna so do a little corner and a little bit over here just because it reflects. We have to grab for her gold. Just do it. Actually, I might. Yeah. No, the shine would be like this. I'm doing undetermined shadow, by the way. I'm doing the VTuber style where you don't really have a shadow. You just kind of add shadow wherever the fuck you want. And we have the orange, of course. So below the boobs, below the hood. That's actually too much shadow below the hood. Below the hood. Thinner shadow. And then because this part is in the back, I add a little bit of it. It's a little turning orange if I go too far, which is interesting. Like this brush does lose its pigment, so it's just something I like. And I do actually a little bit highlight here, which for hoodie isn't much. Does NYX have shading on here is the question right now. Yeah, she has like two stripes of that same white color again. I'm gonna grab that from there. That's, hello? There we go. She just has like two little stripes. I'm just gonna follow stuff here. And of course, shadows. She has this color, of course. So put that over here. Put that over there. And this does follow the line of the hair right here. I do actually make it over the highlights just to get some color difference. And then this one turns a little orange, so I'm just gonna... I'm adding a little bit at the bottom of the hair. She has that in here as well, but that's also something I just do. There we go. Just very heavy shading over here. To cut between those sections of hair. Just a little bit at the bottom here. She has heavy shading back here, which is a different color than the usual, I'm pretty sure. So even though her hair is glowing, she does still have shading there. For that part, she does have shading on her braids, but less so. I'm just gonna slightly up my brush size, do it. The part that's behind her usual hair, I'm gonna shade a bit. I'm gonna shade right into this V. For some reason, there's a lot of shading there. Just for fancies, I'm just gonna add a little... I'm gonna add little stripes of it everywhere. Just to give like the illusion of hair strands a bit more. And you have to remember like where does the hair come from, of course. There we go. I'm gonna add a little bit of this color. They'll shift it to orange yellow. Just add a little bit of it everywhere. Just to give it a little bit more color. I really enjoy adding more color everywhere. That's something you might have noticed. I really like colors. My VTuber is ants, orange, and purple for a reason. I love adding colors. And can't forget to shade these ones. Well, grab that a little darker. Stripe. Adding dark to the top makes no sense, I'm aware, but it just looks better in my opinion. I'm feeling like I should add a little, not highlight, just texture, honestly. I do use a very textured brush. So anything I do will have texture. So now we've added all of the color, which I'll show a little comparison. There's below that. Already, you like the little bit I did already adds a lot, as you can see. And like I haven't even shaded the eyes yet. The way I shade eyes is very different. I haven't done it in a while, but it is quite different. I'm noticing. Okay, so add layer from folder. You can duplicate canvas and then merge or add layer from folder. Just whatever you feel like doing. And then I just I grab whichever color you associate with the art piece, because my brush, if I want to blend stuff, will still grab, as you can see, from the original color if I start. And then I just start follow. I forgot to highlight her not her hair, her hooch. There we go. Whoopsies! Right. So then color I associate with her, which is in this case yellow and blue. So I'm grabbing yellow because that's the color of her hair. You can see it's getting muddied. That's fine. Right now, that's fine. That's gonna happen a lot in this art piece. That's just what happens. Gonna slightly increase my brush size. These aren't like delicate pieces or anything. Right now I'm just blending stuff. So we just do that for a while. I got specifically asked about the hair situation, so we're gonna start with that today. But I will be blending like everything. Everything's gonna be blended, and that's so keep blending. As you can see, it's becoming a lot smoother and a lot muddier. That's what happens when you do stuff with the sketch layer. Um, Gonna slightly blend her eyes in the corners over here. Gonna try to not touch her actual irises too much. It's a lot of blending for this art style, I'm gonna be honest. Lot of texture work, so but I do really enjoy making it all the time. Of course, there's no wrong. Oh fuck. Okay, I should not be fucking around with the actual lipstick, I guess. There's no real wrong way to make art, of course, but unless it's AI, as I said. But I do often want to teach people other ways of doing it, which is oftentimes the way I do it is the other way then, because I do have a weird way of making art, technically. Especially because you can see how many gray shades are in here. How many rough lines for an like this is an art and technically I do lineless. But you can see the sheer amount of still line work there is. So I know it's a little weird, but it's always learning from other artists I think is the best way to learn art by just watching their process. And if they yap about it like I'm doing now with like specific things they're doing, I do think that's something you learn from the most. I do always hope that someone like I've taken a lot of inspiration from other artists. Graphics, the most recently, I learned about how to do the flat colors a little more funly. But there's like an old guy in a hobbit hole on YouTube. He learned me a lot about how to render the face. And like, he's a traditional artist. But that helps so much. If you're doing it, by the way, if you're using watercolor brushes, look at videos of physical artists, of people who do real life art. So non-digital, classical, I don't know the actual term. But like physical artists, just watch them. Aquarelle, I think it's aquarelle painting. Just watch them do that. You get so much out of that if you're specifically using water brush colors. And just a lot of that is what I learned from this. I have a few art books as well, of course. A lot of my early art education came from how to draw manga books, because those were the ones we could find in secondhand stores. And like, I love those books. I still have them. There was a time where I planned to do streams where I would follow tutorials in them, which I'm still kind of planning, but I do struggle with tutorials a lot more nowadays. Also, for the hair, I'm very much following the shading I did. Because with the shading part, I actually follow the hair flow I want, and then after that, it's like I don't know what the hair do. I just follow. I just follow what I did before this, which does actually help a lot when you're hesitant about blending. So yeah, the blending part takes a lot of time, but that's normal. You want to make sure your lines aren't too visible, which mine still are right now. My lines always stay a little visible. I might even throw the art back in at some point, like the lines, re-add them. Don't know yet if I will actually. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It's a little hard because it depends on the vibe I want, and I did not pre-plan this piece like I usually do. This is purely me doing art. You can see the difference in color as well between like the first and second part of the hair, which helps a lot with keeping them separate. Especially over here, you can see how much they blend into each other. So that's oftentimes why I keep the lines in as well. Just get a little more differentiation in art stuff. And oh, I blended in too much of the blue there. And the hoodie. Gonna grab for the hoodie. I'm actually gonna grab bright orange just in case I hit a white spot. Um, just just to make a little make it make sense, you know. And it's just more blending right now. I don't know what else to say. I really like giving commentary on what I do, but it's been the same step for a while now, like 5 minutes, I think, 10 minutes maybe. I'm gonna close the art piece and I'm gonna turn out I've been working on it for like 2 hours, but still. Also, this piece, because it's not a full piece, there's no environmental shading. I'm pretending there is. I tend to pretend my light is coming from the top left. Or the top, just depending on what looks better in the final art piece. A little more. Just want to separate these parts a little. There we go, merge that again. That's pretty good actually. Gonna erase a little bit. Forgot I had the other layers on. I think that looks pretty good. Gonna try to get a few more. Just going in with something smaller to blend out my edges a little. This is not specifically to get more shadow, not shadow, to get more blending in there. Just a little where I think the edges are too rough, I will go in and blend them out a bit. But I do not mind like edges being visible, especially like this stuff. Don't mind, but sometimes it's just like it looks too rough sometimes, you know? Don't know if that sounds any way logical, but yeah. So especially in the hoodie, I left a lot of hard lines. And that seemed better. You're gonna watch me do this for another 30 minutes, by the way. Just making sure my lines aren't too rough. It's gonna be a very different art piece than it looks like at the end. Also, I've been in a mood recently where I fuck around with my colors a lot more. Um, that's why also in the Sunbun Nick she turns out a lot more orange. I've been trying to mitigate that a little, but still, it's hard. It's really hard to like not fuck colors over when you're fucking around with shading stuff, especially the way you shade stuff. I think that's pretty good. Still pissing me off. There's hair in my mouth. Don't you just love rending hair and then suddenly there's a hair in your mouth? Slightly. There we go, that's better. Maybe soften this. Okay. As you can see, big difference. Goes from anime to weird stuff, to weird, jeez. Changes a lot. So, did this one. Add layer from canvas. Turn back on this layer. Rendered hair so well it turned real and got in your mouth. Yeah, exactly. Okay, this one turn that one off. Add layer. Turn back on. Boop up. This looks cute as well, actually. But I'm trying to specifically do this. I'm just fucking around with it a lot of the times. Ooh, you looks really nice. That's actually the difference. It doesn't change a lot, but it does add what I wanted to. I duplicate layer. I do often duplicate the same layer a few times, just mix and match different stuff. Does it actually do stuff? Yes, okay. Yes, as you can see, I'm adding back in the sketch I did of the shading. And then that's gonna get re-merged back in later, but right now, no, it doesn't. As you can see, big difference. It's really funny. Why does the sketch being there changes from happy to sad, by the way? Alright. So this is just me once again fucking around with colors. Multiply looks really nice, but I don't do fucker. What the fuck? Some of these look so weird. I know what I want, but I don't. It's really. Why does multiply look kind of good? We're gonna do 16% multiply because it just. I don't know why. I don't know how to explain that, but I prefer it. And then I'm gonna grab the sketch, duplicate that. Such a big difference already. Kind of like it in like the pinkish red color. Overlay probably. Don't know. Duplicate. We're just gonna do both. Why not? Duplicate color. I think that looks good. Add folder. There we go. Add layer from folder. New layer. Eyedropper. And then we just start grabbing colors to make the differences. So this is another step. Just to make it a little more equal. Not equal. Just to make stuff a little more fitting, I guess is a good word. I know it makes no sense what I'm saying. To me it does, but to you guys it probably doesn't. Just grabbing the color that's nearby, putting it down a bunch. Grabbing another color that's nearby, putting it down a bunch, etc, etc. And that layer does not get merged. That's gonna be a new layer. And if you accidentally put a color somewhere instead of color picking it like it did there, that's no issue. That happens to everyone. So you can kind of see the difference there. I tend to blur the layer and then add it over, but it really depends on what you want. It's also an opportunity to, for the gray out areas, put back the color you actually want there. Should probably also turn clipping mask on. Just gonna go keep out. I don't know what to say with this one. It's just a case of color pick it, add it where you want it, then color pick again, add it where you want it again. This is something I very specifically tend to do with the hair. Not so much the rest of the body. Still do it, but less so, I feel like. I guess the hair is just where I color pick the most. Like the rest, I can often use the same color. Oh, sometimes I accidentally color pick them again. Just a different color. Also happens. This is a more recent. Sorry, breathe that wrong again. This is a more recent thing I started doing in my art, honestly. A lot of fucking around with the colors and everything is something I used to just not do. And then I started doing it, and since then kept doing it because it's really fun. No piece will ever look the same in color situation. That's unfortunate. But it does what I want it to, and it makes me happy. I think it helps because IRL nothing ever has the same color either. Like if you, I think my art stuff been trying secretly. No, not really secretly. More so like I'm not noticing actively that I'm doing it, but just unconsciously doing it. Trying to make it more painterly. Because I almost never use like two layers in my final art piece. Like sure I add layers, but it's always on top, on top. Want some of that pink color. So I do often duplicate this layer and repurpose it. I think I want something paler for that. That's better. And a little bit of light in the corner of the eyes. Oftentimes when you're doing the face, just think of how you do makeup. If you don't do makeup, start doing makeup. Or like start like watching makeup tutorials, I guess. It's not really start doing makeup. But it does help a lot. There we go. Don't know what brush size I was using. I'm gonna be honest. Never know what brush size I'm using. That's kind of normal for me. Scrubbing the colors back in here. Oh, forgot sparkles. There we go. For fabric, I oftentimes just go with diagonals. It adds it adds some texture, especially if you do blend it a little more than I'm doing now. Just cross hatching basically. Which I technically took that from a lot of those anime and manga artists. This is technically how they shade, and I do really enjoy doing it, so started doing it. There's no wrong way to do art, so if you like to do something a certain way, just do it. Have fun. I ended up a little bigger this time than I usually would have, but so like it. Gonna just gonna do it like this, a little more. It's better. And thinner brush again. Just continue with the hair. It's really nice to just chill out and like do this. Also, I am shit at my posture, so I am legit just sitting sideways fully. My drawing pad is not aligned at all with my tablet, with my PC. So it's certain lines certain lines might look a little wobbly. Straight up, do not have my drawing pad straight. Just drawing pad's fully different from the actual PC. Which I can handle that. I'm very used to this nowadays. I do think it's funny because apparently you have drawing pads and you have drawing tablets. Apparently, for someone with a drawing pad, it's a lot easier to switch to a drawing tablet than it is for someone with a drawing tablet to switch over to a drawing pad because they're that used to instant stuff. So that's something I always found interesting. Also, I'm on the braids. I'm using on the braids on the ponytails. I'm using slightly longer strokes because, like, this is short hair, that's long hair technically. So just doing that. You don't have to always do that, but that's something I just prefer. I mean, you don't have to do any of this. This is an art tutorial as to how I do art, not necessarily as to art how art should be done. I love texture, so you will always find a shit ton of texture in my art, honestly. If you want to see my art, it's over on Discord. The link is in my about me. In my little about me section, there's the Discord link, or you can type exclamation mark Discord. I think you'll see it. If one of my moderators could also just dump an invite link in chat, please. Maybe. I don't know if they're still here. They're like very on and off. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I like doing art, and that's the important part, you know. And for me, that's doing it this way. For you, might be chibis with like cell shading. Hey, I'm here the whole time. You didn't join stream until after I started art. You're not here the whole time. Just don't have much to say. You're allowed to. You don't need something to say to yap. I'll make this slightly less black edged. And it's slightly more like that. My art style does mean I don't always get to do detailing, but I don't mind that. Thank you, Heidi. So yeah, that's the Discord. If you want to zoom in on my art, see texture stuff, and then you can join. I'm once again just working here on getting some of the edges gone. I don't mind seeing them, but also sometimes they're just too obvious, and then I don't like seeing them. Should go with orange over here. Just going. Just adding a little extra cross hatching here. Is this cross hatching at this point? I don't know. Don't actually like that, so rewind it. Right. And then just because I don't want to be upset with what I made, duplicate layer, duplicate layer. You can see the difference. It's very obvious. I do often just this is it. Duplicate folder. Turning all of that off for darken actually looks so good on this. What the fuck? You now multiply. I think I'm gonna leave the multiply layer. Color's not changing anything. Overlay is, but not in a way I want it to. So delete that. Delete that. Delete that. Now I'm gonna add another layer on top. Just once again, dark edges. Don't make me happy. Oh, there was still some left there. Okay. Now I'm not quite as much picking it. I'm just adding. Technically, what I have here is the flat color. Just adding the flat color in. Just texture stuff. Ensuring there's a color that can keeps reoccurring will help a bit with like I don't know what it helps. It looks better, in my opinion, is all. Um, I do actually want to duplicate layer, eraser. So I'm erasing right now everything that's not on the face. We should turn this one off as I do that. And if you want to know why, just because I want to blend the face out. Because now it looks weird. To me, at least, it looks weird. I don't know if it looks weird to anyone else, but to me, it looks weird. I'm just erasing what's around it. You know, very much see lines disappearing, which is funny. There. This one I have to erase just the face. There's some more to erase it after this, it seems, but that's fine. And this one I saw it had some stuff over here that didn't get erased properly. Mer what the okay, well, guess that's also a way to find out where you forgot to erase stuff. Oh, this is good enough. Merge brush. Where the fuck is that layer that's added? Oh, you're not. Okay, I'll fix that in a second. Yeah, okay, I see the issue. So the darken layer, well, it does look good. I'm gonna just lasso it away, actually. I'm gonna lasso the darken layer, throw it, the part of the face that I'm currently cutting out, I'm just gonna throw it onto the other layer because I do like the colors it's giving. There we go. And after that, I'll just cut that, paste, check mark. Still not, it's not normal, but I will need it on darken. Looks nicer. I don't know how to explain that. Like brush. Just blending it right now. I really like blending, it's fun. Probably adding a little more masking over those grayish areas. I do hope that this is helping someone. I know I started this for the hair and then I went way too serious into the actual into the full piece, but still. Well, who else is here doing art while I do art? Actually, I'm curious. How many of you are also doing art? Who here is doing art alongside me? Is anyone like trying to pick up on like the stuff I mentioned earlier, like the tutorial stuff, or you just using my voice for chill stuff? I'm just watching as an art person. Ah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I'm curious if like anyone's actually using stuff I'm saying or if they're just chilling. Blending the nose in slightly more. I think I overdid it a little bit. If I'm trying to come out with something to draw Nick's. Just draw your version of this art piece, you know? I don't know if I want this on normal or soft light looks a little better actually. Just that. Not changing much, but I do like the lightened version better, except for this chunk. But that's fine. I'll just like cut, paste, check mark. Lighten doesn't seem to change much in that aspect, luckily. No. Duplicate folder, lighten, normal, onto the top. Just adding a little bit smudginess. Don't know how I ended up using pink for shading, but sure. Also, this is fully assuming you're not doing any kind of dramatic lighting, by the way. If you're doing dramatic lighting, it's gonna be very different. I love dramatic lighting, but this is just basic white lights. This is like VTuber model lighting, technically. Uh, I'm just gonna grab duplicate here. Was it there? Fully on top. Normal. And then grab blur. Just throw it over there. Just throwing some blur over it, don't worry. And then grab smudge. Just start smudging. I'm not using the right smudge for this. Ink pen, maybe? Yeah, ink pen. Just gonna make impact settings, max thickness a little bit bigger. Just gonna blend all this in the right shape. I will say with every art piece I do, I will do slightly different lighting stuff. Just because I want like a certain vibe or I want the texture to go a certain way. So it will never be the exact same in my art style. Which I know for some people is really annoying, but for me, that's just how life is. Just how I art, you know? The hooch. Turn everything back on. Just make sure that normal tends to look the best, but you never know, like, if you fuck around with it a bit. Ooh, wait. Someone else looks better. I'll try to draw you for practice. Wait, you're gonna go draw me? I do want you to go sleep first, but I'm flattered you want to draw me. Uh, thank you for being willing to. I guess I'm getting a new laptop background again. That's fun. I've been looking at the same 40 pieces for a while now. Uh, okay. Also, I fully zoned out, I'm pretty sure. I don't remember a single word I said. I just now realized chat was going. I'm vibing while trying to come out with, yeah, I read that. Should I draw you? Yeah, apparently you're going to. That Nyx once made her in a manga style I watched. That's cool. I cannot for the life of me draw manga. But still, that's really cool. So why this makes the art so much softer than I expected it to? Just once again working at some of these edges. Really, a lot of my art is just me making stuff that I don't like and less bit visible. Which that's the point we're at now. Especially on pieces of Nyx, I prefer to have less of those dark colors. Like my sketch will always be visible. That's kind of part of what I do, but still. I can just hear my cat sleeping right now, which is really fun because you just go making. And that's normal for my cat. Don't worry. We know he does that. That like it's not a noise that's weird, but still, it's really funny to hear him just going. It's a way darker color than I expected, but I kind of like it. Just gonna re-add that cross-hatching here, whatever you wanna call it. That like texturing I use. Like thinner lines this time, so just some texturing. Right. Gonna add layer from folder with this layering tool. I'm working on this one layer right now, so just gonna slightly blend it bottom out. I'm seeing a few parts I want to go fix. Actually not doing it on a separate layer, I think. Gonna alpha lock this, grab this color, just blend from outwards. I don't often check how my art looks on dark backgrounds. I forgot I probably should. Duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. Yeah. I kind of like it with. Alright, let me go to before I. Wait, that's too far. Alright. One, two, three. Um, okay, so that's just. I guess I erased something I didn't notice or something. Remove alcohol real quick. Smudge, small. No, that looks better, I guess. Top layer is gonna go full blur. Soft light. Soft lights. This one outline. Screen. On top we can finally do the shading for the eyes because we haven't actually worked on that. Yeah, we haven't done the eyes yet actually. They don't need much, I will be honest. They're already quite close to how I usually do the eyes, luckily. I'm erasing the parts that go over the yellow, don't worry. Uh, I oftentimes do. So, fun fact, this is something I do where I think I picked this up from Lavender Town, Lavender Time or something. The one with the controversial has-been stuff, where she did redesigns that really sucked. Where she oftentimes does emotions into the eyes, which are like shapes. I really liked that, but my way of doing it was incorporating it into how I usually shade, which is adding personality. So these are stars. For my VTuber, there's little sheeps in my eyes. My little icons are sheeps. So I just really like doing that. Just think it's cute, you know? Um, It's also something I do where I use a lot of opposite colors. Which in my eyes, in my VTuber's eyes, that becomes purple. It's really funny. Well, I do often on accident still color pick, which sucks. Right. Vivid light and then lower opacity usually. Might do something else this time, don't know. Oh, add looker. Actually, lighten, definitely lighten today. But it looks shitty in hard lights. I just want to check Nyx's eyes real quick because she does have her own eyes, of course. So you have like this color I'm using here, but in that you have this lighter color, which are her pupils. And just the one. Actually, I'm not duplicating her pupils. Fuck that. 90% of the piece is hand drawn. Why not? Why not all of it? Why not do more hand drawn stuff? And if it looks like shit, oh well. Yeah, no, it looks like shit. I'm just gonna. And you're actually just gonna paste it. Fuck it. I know what I said. I don't care. There we go. And her eyes have these very bright. She has like a dot right here and a dot right here for shading. I'll keep that, but make it these cyan colors. And don't often do this anymore, but I used to very often add those things. I don't know what they're called. I just like the way it looks. And it kind of helps with that moon shape I'm putting in her eyes. Because like she is a star, but stars reflect the moon and all that. I don't know, I just like it. And then I have to check. I do have to erase a little bit just so it doesn't fuck with the eye colors. That doesn't seem to fuck with it. Doesn't really fuck with it either. Do have to remove this from there. Make sure I don't erase the part I still need. Part of a blue has to go here. I used to often just make a clipping mask for this, but because the eyes are on the same layer as the skin, that doesn't really work the way it should. I might leave these, depending on how it looks, I might leave them be. Yeah, I'm just gonna, you know what, fuck it, those get to be there. That looks good, actually. I want to add sparkles. That's not special. Mesoville. I'm a big fan of these sparkles lately. course also the normal stars, but I want it to be a little wonky, but I don't. I need it to be on canvas and cover this spot that I want covered. And still look good. Actually, that one works. That's not a star. And she does have this. She has this star. Might just. Is that true? Is that. Wait. Okay. That's. Can I draw that? Can I just add that like that in yellow? I guess I don't put it right there. Issue I okay wait. I'm just gonna add a few and make it not as obvious. Just a star. And what are these normal ones? I'm fucking up the sparkles. You know what? I'm happy with it. We're gonna keep it like that. Save image, non-trans. Oh wait, fuck my signature. Hour and a half, not bad actually in time. I was expecting it a lot shorter and a lot longer at the same time because I do often. Wrong button again. I do often just zone out, not notice when I'm like going silent and just not talking for like 2 hours, and then it's like, oh, cool, art's done. Felt like 10 minutes, and it's like, oh fuck, I didn't talk my entire stream. Something goes here. Should just go. No. I could just be like, make my signature part of the hoodie, I guess. Just overlay and it like that. That works. Ta-da! What's the plan to draw Nyx today? No. Did I still draw Nyx? Yes. But I hope people get used to how I draw the hair and stuff. I'm gonna click off of it now. I'm no longer allowed to edit this because I will stare at it for too long and start editing, even though I'm quite happy with it. I hope people get used to that. I don't often do tutorial stuff, so your signature, also known as the OG fluff ball. Yeah, yeah. I'm still really happy with the fluff ball designs we got. They're so cute. Where's the colors? But these are so. I'm so happy with the fluff balls. Also, damn, 3.5 hour stream. That's been a while. I do really like the art piece though. It's really nice. It's been a while since I just made a headshot. Bah, 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 bah. I used to be a lot better at that, but whatever. Chat. I will send it. Chat, you get to make another choice. Do I DM it to Nyx or do I just dump it in her fan art channel? What do we do? I'm chat. I'm gonna await your choice in this. Fan art channel or just DM it? Fan art channel or just DM it? What are we doing? I love having and Twitch delay and a chat who doesn't really talk. It's really funny to just be like, "Am I getting a message today?" I'm gonna drop on fan art channel. Also drop a quick drop on fan art channel, and I also drop a quick sketch I did. I only have anything to say on the matter. I guess someone did, Haley. Congrats. You don't have to make a choice this time. There's like 5 people today for some reason. Ignore my message. Yeah, I will. Upload image. Boop bop. The the vlog made me draw you. I mean, you hardly made me, but still. I'm gonna chat. I'm blaming you for this. I'll also drop it on my own server, which Discord link in my About You page. In the Machinia's art channel, all my art will always go there. I yap about stuff a lot as well with art, so if you want to, you can join that. It's fun though. I miss art streams. I should do them more. I know, but still. I, and we are going to raid someone now because I'm really fucking sleepy. And I okay, wait, no, wait, maybe not. Maybe not actually. Wait. What time is it? It's no. I could switch to cooking stream for an hour, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that actually because that's gonna I'm making soup. I'm considering it, but I don't think I will. I don't think I will because you're sleepy. I wonder why that is. Shut the fuck up. I slept until like 11 today. I got a whole ass 9 hours of sleep. You don't get to start yapping at me like do you don't get to do that. You don't get to yap at me about stuff. Alright, we have a choice on who we can also knock on Help's door again. We can be annoying. No, I'm not doing that. We're gonna raid someone, and you have the choice between Mina Micah and Health. Health is very chill, is a TV. What are you doing? Co-working and studying. Why can't I hear you? I'm bad, please don't. Health, why is Health just silent? Am I going insane? Oh, Health is away right now. Like 2 minutes ago. That's Health, come on! Why anytime I want to go raid Health, Health is not there. Do we wait on Health? I guess we wait on Health, or oh wait, Micah's also online. We have Micah or Health. And Micah's doing a collab, so that's a little. I think it's rude to rate in a collab. It feels so awkward all the time. Like it's not rude, but like it feels awkward. Oh, Ram is also live. Why the fuck are all my friends live? You know what? I'm sending you to Ram. He is streaming Cult of the Lamp. I'm sending you to Ram. My options: Health, aka my friend, Mina Micah, aka a fellow sheep, Ram, aka playing the sheep game. Like, okay, slash raid Ram. Okay, now I'm not complaining. Yeah. Uh, Here's your raid message, you little ba. Oh, actually, everyone's joining this time. Bye, it was fun. It was. I don't know if okay, my desktop audio is off, so you can't hear him. I joined their stream already. Help or hinder is a thing. You can join their cult. I keep fucking people's pronouns up. He's playing Cult of Lamb. You can join his cult and everything. So, uh, yay. I'm just gonna send y'all over to raid. Have fun, guys. Bye bye. Bye bye.